So first, on our game, we like all feedback, always give feedback and stuff, but there's some design traps that you'll see players fall into of how they're approaching it. And there's a classic one that came up today. And again, fine to bring it up, but I wanted to like explain it to the community, and I did on Discord, as well as here, there's things you need to think about of why that's a bad choice and why we're not going to do it. And I want to tell you we're not going to do it so that you know we're listening to you and we're not just stringing you along. We're going to say yes or no and talk about it. And that is spawning is one of the common. So you have to wait in our game, right? So you're playing versus, and so the alien team has to wait sometimes, right? Because you have to wait to spawn, because otherwise it's just never-ending punishment against the survivors, and it's not going to be fun. Now, you can actually switch those times and make it that kind of game. That is an option. We found that's just overwhelming. Like, we give you a lot of options, so you can make that kind of game if you want. So people are like, well, I have 30 seconds before I spawn. I want to be one of the common aliens. But that changes the game, because then you're not thinking strategically. You're just this body that's getting thrown against the shore. Do we spawn another one if you die quickly? Do we just keep spawning them? Like, it just changes how you look at the game. You're not paying attention to the game. You're not being like, hey, just the person saving everybody, we should go after him instead of Benjamin, who wouldn't even shoot a grabber if needed be to save his teammate. That's the kind of thing you want to think about while you're playing as the special, because you want to be watching and looking and deciding these things. So that becomes a problem where it's the goal versus the tool. So the tool is spawning as a common, and don't get stuck in that tool, because that's not the tool. Let's step it back. And why did you want to be that? Oh, because you're not engaged as a special. That is a fair thing. Right now in our game, we give you nothing else to do. We don't tell you what you're spawning as. We can let you communicate as your team. There's a whole bunch of other things you get out of that. You also get the social side. You get to watch other people play. You get a laugh at them as they're playing and all of that. But what more can we do to be engaging? What more can we do for those seconds that you're waiting to allow you to see more of what's going on? And so we have some ideas for that. We have some things we're going to be putting in. But it's kind of like when you're going through that feedback from the community, you're not just taking their answers. What you're taking is, what are they feeling? What are the goals that they're identifying? And that's, again, a really good goal to identify. What are the different goals? Let's think about now how we could fix those and what are the tools. Having played these kind of games and done these kind of games in a bunch, the common choice is this thing I hear a lot, and I wanted to nip it in the butt because it is one that is problematic and we actually don't want, because it drives a bunch of adverse behavior that we don't want in the game. So what are the right ones that we can do? Now we can get that feedback from the community and it'll be clearer without that clouding it. So you want to avoid those kind of design